Okay, so let's kind of come into easy seat, bringing our awareness down into our bodies through our breath. And let's just take a deep breath in. And exhaling out. And let's send those sit bones down and connect it to the earth, kind of anchoring them in and sending those roots deep and wide. Feeling the stability, that grounding and that centering kind of coming in through those roots. And then imagine the nourishment from those roots, just like a tree would suck them up from the earth. Imagine that nutrients just moving up through those roots, coming up into your spine, maybe waving your spine up just a little bit, lengthening that spine, lifting up through the sternum. Move the head away from the ears, slightly tuck the chin, and take a couple deep breaths in here. Unclenching your jaw, dropping your shoulders, resting your hands in your lap. Maybe closing your eyes. And in unison, let's take a nice deep breath in. So breathe in deep, sending that breath all the way down to the roots. And exhaling out slowly and easily. And one more time, nice deep breath in. Really expanding the ribs, opening up through the chest, opening through the belly, the hips, and slowly begin to exhale, allowing that breath to come out through the nose. And then find the natural rhythm of your breath. And when you're ready, you can just flutter open your eyes. And we're going to begin with a slow flow that's by Taylor today. So Taylor, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and begin.
Hey, hi everybody. So go ahead and stay in that comfortable seat. Real quick, just a quick thumbs up. Can everybody hear okay? Perfect. All right, so stay in that comfortable seat here. Allow yourself to move forward with what Kim was just telling us, to really feel grounded and rooted together. We'll close our eyes for just another moment here. Take a couple more nice breaths here. So inhale really big through the nose, letting the belly completely expand. And as you exhale through the nose, let the belly contract in. And inhale again, nice big breath in through the nose. Exhale out. Take a few more breaths here, letting your body's natural rhythm. And together tonight, I'd like to set a collective intention, and that is to let us hold compassion for ourselves and hold compassion for others during this very difficult time right now. It's an easy time to feel stressed, anxious, and worrisome. So tonight, let's take that grounding practice we did with Kim and really root down and hold that compassion for yourself and for others. So take a nice big inhale in, exhale out. You can leave the eyes closed or open them up. Inhale, float the arms up overhead, palms coming together. Exhale, bringing the hands down to the heart, nice and slow. And we'll inhale, reaching back up, arms coming up together. And this time we'll exhale, dropping that right hand down, letting the left arm reach over the left ear, leaning to the right. You can stay on the hand or drop down to that forearm, really opening up here. Taking a couple breaths in. And go ahead nice and slow. Inhale, pushing up with the right hand, bringing the right arm back up top. Dropping that left hand down, reaching to the left, right arm over that right ear, really leaning into it here. Stretching out the side body. Really open up the heart here. And go ahead, pushing with the left hand, bringing both arms back up. Take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, reach back behind you. Right hand comes back, left hand comes to that right knee. Take a nice big breath in as we twist around. Inhale and lengthen the spine, sitting up a little straighter here. Exhale, twist a little deeper into the pose. Nice and gently here, we're gonna inhale, coming back to center, arms float up. And we'll exhale, left hand reaches back this time as we twist to the left, right arm comes to that left knee. And we inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Really breathing into the poses here. Inhale, nice and slow, coming back to center, just warming up the spine. Hands can come together and we'll exhale them down to the heart. Beautiful. We're gonna go through a little flow here. If you come to my classes, you know probably where we're going next. Let's inhale, float the arms up. And exhale, push the hands round the back. Beautiful. Inhale, open up to T, arch the back a little. Exhale, hands flow behind you, lean forward. Inhale, we're gonna do this a few times, so inhale it up. Exhale, push and round. Inhale, open up to T, arch the back. Exhale, fold, hands float behind. Inhale, big movements here, big breath. Exhale, push and round. Inhale, open up to T, arching the back. Exhale, hands come back. One more time, big movement here. Inhale it up. Exhale, push and really round that back. Inhale, open up to T, maybe arch the back a little bit more. Exhale, hands float back. Good. Inhale it up, palms come together as we reach our hands up. Exhale our hands down to our heart. However you want to get there, let's make our way to a neutral table. Nice and slow here. It is a slow flow, so we'll go at our own pace. Once you get to neutral table, the wrists are under your shoulders here. If you look between the knees, you shouldn't see your toes. Have a nice strong core here in that neutral table. And while we're here, let's take a couple of cow cats. So take an inhale, dropping the belly, lift the chin for cow. Exhale, round the back, tuck the chin in for cat. Take a nice breath in as you come into cow. Exhale, round the back for cat. We'll do this a couple more times here. Go ahead at your own pace as you inhale. Exhale for cat. One more time. And when you come to the last exhalation, go ahead back to that neutral table here. Rearrange if you need to. Take any movements that might feel good. And we're gonna come into balancing table here. So we're gonna kick that right foot out behind you. Really make sure the foot is flexed here. Peek back to make sure that leg is in line with the hip. We're not too high. Holding in nice and strong in that core. You can stay here or inhale, lift that left arm up. Good. Hold it in here for a couple of breaths, holding on to that balancing table here. Beautiful. Bring it back in nice and slow, dropping that right leg and bringing the left hand back. Now we're going to adjust again. Go ahead this time, we're gonna kick that left foot back, coming into balancing table here. Nice and strong in the core, you're welcome to stay here, or you can bring that right arm up, coming into balancing table on this side. Taking a few nice, strong breaths. Take another inhale in and exhale, bringing the hand and knee back down. Maybe doing a couple more cow cats if that feels good. Wag the tail a little. And when you're ready, inch the hands up a little bit here, about an inch or two. We're gonna curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back, and find the first downward facing dog of our practice here. So go ahead and pedal the feet. See what feels good in the first down dog here. Really reaching the back of the legs for the back of the room. Finding any movement that feels good and safe in your down dog. Continuing to breathe throughout the pose. If you are moving, go ahead and find stillness. Take a couple more breaths here. Stretching out the backs of our legs. Take another breath in. Exhale, bend your knees and slowly walk your hands back to your feet. We're gonna come into a little ragdoll pose here. We're gonna hang forward, stretching out the back of the legs again, maybe letting go of any tension that may be in the neck or the back. You can let yourself hang heavy. You can grab opposite elbows here and sway a little side to side. Have a nice bend in the knees if that feels right. A couple more breaths here. And go ahead and find stillness. And nice and slow, nice and gentle, we're gonna roll the body back up, one vertebrae at a time. Taking our time to get to the top. Inhaling the arms up once we reach the top. And exhale the hands down to the heart. Good. And we're gonna come to the top of our mats here. We're gonna go through a few sun salutations. So find the top of your mat. Take a nice breath in, inhale, bring the arms up to top. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, coming up halfway, really lengthen that spine. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step or float back to plank. You can stay in plank or you can exhale, lower for chaturanga. Inhale for upward facing dog. Exhale, curl the toes under, lift the hips for downward facing dog. And take a few breaths here in the down dog. You can pedal out the feet a little bit more if you need to. Really feel into the pose. Do what feels good. Beautiful. Take another nice big breath in. Exhale, bend those knees, look forward, hop, step, or float to the top of the mat. We'll inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale to fold. Inhale, we'll slowly roll the body back up. Arms float up to the top. Exhale, the hands down to the heart and to the side. We're gonna do that a couple more times here. So inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine, really straighten the spine here. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, hop, step, or float back. We'll go through a vinyasa, so lower halfway for chaturanga. Inhale for upward facing dog. Exhale, curling the toes, find your downward facing dog. And if you already know where we're going when we do the vinyasa, feel free to go at your own pace. Taking a couple of nice deep breaths here. Take a nice big inhale in. Exhale, bend the knees, hop, step, or float to the top of that mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to fold. Nice and slow, roll the body up. Arms float to the top. Palms come together, and we'll exhale the hands to the heart and down to the side. One more sun salutation. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, hop, step, or float back. Go through that vinyasa. So exhale, lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, find your downward facing dog and take a few nice deep breaths here. We're preparing the body for our vinyasa flow, for the asana of our practice. Take a nice big inhale in. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step to the front of your mat. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Nice and slow. Inhale, rolling the body up. Palms come together once your arms float to the top. And we'll exhale the hands down. Good. Go ahead at the top of your mat here. Let's come into mountain pose for a moment. Taking a couple of nice breaths here. You can close the eyes if that feels good. Maybe you have a hand on the belly, a hand on the heart, whatever feels good to you in the practice tonight. Remembering why you decided to join us tonight, knowing how grateful we are that you're here. Take another nice breath here in mountain pose. Nice and slow. Inhale, float the arms up. Go ahead and grab the left wrist with the right hand and lean to the right, coming into a nice stretch here, really opening up the heart. Beautiful. Inhale, nice and slow. We'll come back, grabbing the right wrist with the left hand and gently leaning to the left. Really feeling into that stretch, opening up the heart, looking up. Nice and gently, we'll come back and bring the hands down. Beautiful. And in the front of our mat here, we're gonna nice and slow, however it feels good to you in chair pose, whether that's the toes together or the feet slightly apart, whatever feels good to you. We're gonna take a nice breath in, dropping down to chair pose, inhaling the arms up. In chair pose, we're gonna try to have a little bit of a tuck here. Not too much, do what feels good. You should be leaning back into that seat where if you look down, you can lift the toes. Take a couple of nice breaths here, burning it out in chair pose. Take another nice big inhale in. Exhale, release, fold forward. Beautiful. Inhale, coming up halfway, lengthen that spine. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back to plank, lower to down dog, chaturanga, or meet in downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here in downward facing dog, finding any movement. Nice big breath in. Nice and slow. However it feels good, we're gonna gently bring the body back to plank position. You may need to adjust the feet a little if needed. Take a breath in plank. And then slowly open up to side plank. Right arm goes up to the sky. Beautiful. If you want to play with the side plank, try raising the right leg, gently dropping it. Take a couple of breaths here in side plank. Really lengthening the torso. Take a nice breath in. Exhale nice and gently. We're going to come back to front plank here. And when you're ready, we're going to take a nice breath in. Pivot the feet. Open up plank on left side. Left arm reaches up towards the sky. Right arm is nice and strong. Playing with plank here. You can lift the left leg. Maybe try to bring it up like tree here. Whatever feels good. Taking another nice breath in. Really holding that nice and strong core, knowing how strong you are. And exhale. Coming back to plank. And then downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. Knowing you can always find child's pose if needed. Take one more breath in. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, bringing yourself up to the top of your mat. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling the body back up to the top of your mat, nice and slow. Arms reaching up overhead. Beautiful. All right, we'll take a break here on the wrists, coming to the top of our mat. We're gonna come into tree pose here. So just like in mountain pose, we're really digging into the earth, kind of what Kimberly was talking about earlier, really rooting in, grounding into the earth. Bring the weight to the left foot here. And when you're ready, we're gonna come into tree pose. So you're welcome to have your tree hanging out here. Skip the knee, or you can bring it up here. So wherever you find comfort in that tree pose, go ahead and find it. Really pushing that knee back, hugging that core nice and strong here. Hugging it all in. And when you're ready, you can bring the hands, letting them rest at the heart. You can let your tree grow some branches if you'd like. Everyone looks beautiful. Taking another couple of breaths here in that tree pose, holding it as long as it feels good. Maybe it feels good to let the hands come back. Taking a couple more breaths here. Everybody looks wonderful. All right, in our tree pose now, nice and slow, gently release the foot, but leave that foot up. So we're holding strong here in that left leg. And we're gonna hinge forward at the hips, almost as if we're coming into a warrior three. And you can hit the pose if you want for a moment. But then we're gonna step it back nice and slow, coming into a crescent lunge. If you need to adjust the feet, go ahead and do so. Nice strong crescent lunge. We're on the ball of the right foot. Our left foot has, or excuse me, our left leg has a nice bend in it. We're not arching forward too much. We have a nice strong core here. We'll inhale the arms up. Beautiful. Nice strong crescent lunge here. Taking a couple of breaths. Moving slowly and intentionally with each pose. Take another breath here, really opening up the hip. Pivot and plant that right foot down, coming into a warrior two stance. So if you look down, you can have that imaginary line from the left heel to the right arch. Opening up, looking beyond the left fingertips here. That left leg should be feeling very strong. Take another couple of breaths here in warrior two. Take a nice big inhale and drop that right hand down. Lift the left arm up for reverse warrior. Taking the left arm above the head here. And nice and slow on the next exhale, we're gonna bring the left elbow to that left knee. Right arm comes right above that right ear, coming into a nice side stretch here. Maybe it feels good to drop the hand. Maybe it feels good to rest like this. Beautiful. And nice and slow, keeping that bend in the left leg. We're gonna come into warrior two again. And gently straighten that left leg here. Maybe bring in that right foot. And we're gonna come into triangle pose. So we're gonna hinge forward first and then drop that left hand down. The left hand can rest on the leg. It can reach for the floor. The right arm is up overhead here. And we're really lengthening both sides of the torso here. So we're not too forward. We're right here in the middle. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here. Nice and slow, we're gonna look down, bend that front knee so we gently can make our way back up to warrior two. Beautiful. And nice and slow, we're gonna windmill those hands down. So we're gonna come into a low runner's lunge here. And from here, we're gonna pivot that right foot down, kicking the left foot back, coming into that side plank again. So we're finding that side plank one more time here on this side. And again, you can play with it. You can lift the left leg, maybe kick it back, whatever feels good. Take another breath. Exhale, bring the hands down, coming into plank. And then find downward facing dog. Take a few nice deep breaths here. Inhale in. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward. Find the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, roll the body up, nice and slow. Arms come to the ceiling or reach for the sky. And hands come to the heart as we exhale. And now we're gonna do that all on the other side. So find that mountain pose at the top of your mat if you'd like. And we're gonna root down now into the right leg. So the weight is shifting here into the right leg. And it always helps, I know we're looking at the screen, but try to find a drishti, so something that's not moving, something to balance on. As we come into tree pose on the right leg, your tree can rest here, or you can bring it up to the upper thigh, skip that knee, and you can stay here in tree pose if you like, pushing that knee back, hugging the core in nice and strong. You may find that one side of your balance is a little rockier than another. You can let your tree grow some branches if you like. We'll take a couple more breaths here in tree pose. Remembering to root down, feeling connected with the earth. And nice and slow, we'll release that left leg as we prepare to come into that warrior three. So we hinge forward, kicking back. Find balance if you would like in warrior three. Or you can drop that leg down, coming into crescent lunge. Beautiful, everybody looks so great. Nice strong bend in that right leg. We're on the ball of the left foot here. Inhaling the arms up by the ears. Really digging into that crescent lunge. Taking a few breaths here. Slow and intentional movement with this flow. Slow movement. To really feel into each pose. To really feel your feelings here. Take another breath. And we're gonna pivot and plant that left foot. We're bringing it 45 degrees. Opening up the torso here, coming into warrior two. Nice strong warrior twos. You can shrug the shoulders up to the ears, roll them down your back, maybe sink deeper into it if it feels good. Taking a couple of breaths. big inhales in, exhaling out. On the next inhale, let's drop that left hand. Inhale the right arm up, reverse that warrior. And as we exhale, coming into our side angle stretch. Right elbow comes to that right knee. Left arm is over by the left ear. Or you can drop the right hand, whatever feels good tonight. Nice and slow. Inhale, back up, warrior two. That right leg might be feeling it. We're going to straighten it now. Bring that left foot in an inch or two. Hinging forward. Dropping that right hand, coming into triangle pose. So we're really trying to lengthen both sides of the torso here. Our left arm is up towards the sky. Our right hand is either resting on the floor, our leg, or reaching for the floor. Take a couple of breaths in triangle. Good, nice and slow. Look down, bending that front leg, coming back into warrior two. And we're gonna windmill the hands down to that low runner's lunge. So really get a nice stretch here for a moment. And I'm gonna pivot. Good. And then we're gonna open up, coming into that side plank here. So kick that left leg back, opening up to that side plank here. Again, you're welcome to play with it. Do what feels good. Take a couple more breaths, really open up the arms here. And when you're ready, pivot forward again. And find downward facing dog. Take a few nice deep breaths here in down dog. See if the heels can reach for the floor a little bit more. See if the back of the legs reach towards the back of the room a little bit more. Take another breath in. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, find the top of your mat. Inhale, coming up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, slow up to rise. Arms float to the top of the mat. Exhale, bringing the hands down. We'll do one more balancing series here, playing off of what we did already. So finding that mountain pose for a moment. Let's bring the weight to the left side again. So shifting the weight to the left foot, rooting down into the earth. Bringing the right leg, we're gonna find tree pose again. So whether the leg's resting on the shin or coming up to the upper thigh, pushing that knee back. We're just working on something we already did. So see if it feels any different this time. See if it feels better to bring the arms up. Maybe bring them out, maybe have cactus arms. See what feels good in tree pose here. Take a couple of nice deep breaths in. Beautiful trees, beautiful roots growing. And we're gonna do as we did, but we're gonna try to hold warrior three this time, just for fun. Keeping that right leg up, we're gonna keep the hands at the heart. Hinge at the hips. We're gonna kick that right foot back. So the right foot is back and flex, the hips are square. We're coming into warrior three. You can leave the hands at the heart. You can bring them up by the ears. If you fall out of the pose, that's okay. It's what your body wants you to do right now. You're welcome to come back into it. Take another breath if you're in warrior three. And nice and slow, we're gonna come up forward, letting the knee come up to the chest. Arms coming up. And exhale it all down, shake it out. And we're gonna do that on the other side here. So find your space for a moment, rooting that right foot into the earth. And then finding tree pose with the left leg. So whether that's on the shin or the upper thigh, the hands can stay at heart. Or you can let the tree grow some branches, whatever feels good. Take a couple nice breaths here. Strong in the core. Good. Beautiful. Nice and slow. Say hello to the dog. We're gonna bring the leg forward here as we slowly hinge at the hips. Left foot kicks back, hips are square, and we find warrior three. Holding strong in that warrior three. Maybe you want to let the arms find airplane here. Whatever feels good to you tonight. Breathing in. Beautiful. Take one more breath if you're able to. And nice and slow together, we're gonna bring the left knee up as the arms come up. And exhale it down, shake it out. Beautiful job, you guys. Let's all come to the top of the mat together. We'll take one more breath in. Exhale it down. Hi, buddy. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, and this time we'll just step it back to downward facing dog. Last down dog of the slow flow. Taking a breath in. And nice and slow, gently, we'll come forward, bringing the knees to the mat. You can let the knees go wide, bringing the feet together, sinking the hips down, and we're gonna come into child's pose for a moment. Letting yourself relax after that, letting yourself find your breath. Letting the natural rhythm come back. Providing gratitude to yourself for showing up, being part of our event tonight. And nice and slow and gently bring yourself back up to find a comfortable seat. And whatever that comfortable seat looks like for you. A nice easy seat here. Take one more breath in. Hands can come to the heart center. And I thank you all, and I hope you all stay safe and healthy at home. Namaste. Namaste. And on to the next flow.
Kahlia, whenever you're ready.
Ready? All right. So we'll just get started in easy seated position where most of you are already at. We already did a few warm-ups with Taylor already, so we'll just begin with a couple stretches. So just closing your eyes or maybe letting your eyelids fall down towards the mat, towards the ground. We're just gonna start by taking some slow and steady inhales. Letting out long, slow exhales. And just take a moment here to start to get centered with our breath. Moving our bodies into a little bit slower of a practice where we'll be holding poses for a few minutes. So it's important to keep with our breath, keep our breath slow and steady. And always coming back to our breath if we feel we've reached a point where our body does not want to be tonight. Checking in with your bodies, make sure that your sit bones are situated, that we're sitting comfortably on our mat in either a cross-leg position or we can take lotus pose. We're going to take a nice deep inhale and roll our shoulders up towards our ears. and then down our spines, checking in that our spines are straight and long and tall. Our hearts are open. Inhaling, we're gonna sweep our arms up above. Nice deep inhale here. Exhaling, our left arm is gonna come down to the mat while our right arm curls around our head, resting at the tip of our left ear and just gently helping our head over to the right hand side. And we're just gonna hold this here for a couple breaths. We can experiment a little bit with the stretch by moving our fingers either forward or backward or farther from our bodies. Whenever we find that stretch that's right for us, we're gonna hold that there for a few breaths, remembering to take slow, steady inhales, letting out long, slow exhales. We're gonna take one last deep inhale here. And exhaling, releasing that right arm, coming back to center. We're going to inhale, sweeping our arms up again. Nice deep inhale here, really reaching towards the ceiling. Exhale, our right arm comes down to the mat as our left arm curls around our head. Our fingertips resting at the top of our right ear, and then just gently helping our head over to the left-hand side. And again, our right arm can be just straight out in front. We can experiment with kind of stretch we're gonna feel in our neck by walking our fingertips forward or by walking our fingertips back. You'll notice almost every step has a different area that it's stretching. So once you've found that spot that's right for you tonight, that stretch that you need tonight, we're gonna stay there for a couple breaths. Just slowly and deliberately inhaling and slowly, deliberately exhaling. We're going to take one last deep inhale here. And exhale, we're going to release our left arm, bringing it back down to the mat. And so I wanted to take just a second to show you the props that I've gathered. If you've come to any of my other class, we usually have props, but of course, being that we're at home, we're going to have to make do. So this is a couch cushion that I have. So I'm going to use that in lieu of the bolsters that we have in the studio. And then just feel free to gather like little throw pillows to help you, you know, if you're usually using or accustomed to using some blocks or some bolsters, just whatever you have around the house, feel free to grab a throw from the couch or wherever you might be, if that's gonna make you more comfortable. Being mindful if knees are an issue for you, you know, you probably do want something soft, a blanket or a small pillow or something for your knees. And other than that, we're just gonna do some modifications as best as we can with what we have in our homes. So we're still in an easy seated position. We're gonna work into a forward fold. So we're going to first come into Baddha Konasana. So we're gonna bring the soles of our feet together, opening up our feet a little bit like pages of a book. Our knees, we're just gonna let gravity help fall towards our mat. If we feel like that's too tight of a stretch, we can always scoot backwards a little bit, and that's gonna lessen that stretch. If we feel we want a little bit more of a stretch, we can scoot our bottoms a little bit closer to our feet, and that will give us more of a stretch. So once we're comfortable here, we're gonna take a nice deep inhale, reaching our arms up, really reaching for the sky here. And then exhaling, we're gonna slowly start to forward fold. And this is where our props come in, because we can grab our bolster / couch pillow and kind of just rest over that, or our pillows or whatever we might have cozy and comfy in our house. So once we found the spot here that's comfortable for us, we are gonna stay here for a few moments. I don't have my music on, but feel free to turn on any music that you wish, anything calling to you tonight. And we're gonna stay here for a few moments of breath. Remembering as we sink deeper and deeper into our pose, keep with your breath. Slow, steady inhales, very deliberate inhales, really breathing in the air, feeling that breath coming into our bodies. And then very long, slow, deliberate exhales, forcing that breath, that air back out into our room, into our space. Coming back to this breath if we start feeling uncomfortable, physically uncomfortable, maybe mentally uncomfortable as we're holding some long poses, always coming back to our breath. We're gonna take one last deep inhale here. Exhaling, we're gonna slowly help ourselves back up and out of this position. We can kind of move our props if we're using any to the side, but keep them handy in case we need to grab them again in a moment. We're gonna keep our left leg more or less where it is, but we're gonna take our right leg and we're gonna extend it out to the side. So almost diagonal, so that our heel and our leg are kind of in line to the corner of our mat. And my son is coming in very badly, I apologize. Left leg, we bring our left foot to our inner right thigh, so that we're making almost kind of an L shape with our legs. Taking a moment to make sure that our sit bones are situated on our mat, rolling those shoulders up and back so that our spines are straight and tall. We're gonna take a nice deep inhale, sweeping those arms up above, really reaching for the ceiling here. Nice deep breath. And turning towards that extended leg, we're gonna exhale as we slowly fold over the extended leg. Now we can grab our props if we need to. Place our prop next to our leg so that when we're forward folding, we have that nice soft pillow or a blanket or prop of choice to fall onto. Or we can always have our hands resting on our legs, either to our shins, our ankles, maybe our toes, whatever's within your practice tonight. And once you've found that spot, we're gonna stay here for a few moments. Remembering to keep with our breath, taking slow, steady inhales, letting out long, slow exhales. And maybe with each exhale, we sink just a little bit deeper, letting gravity take us a little bit closer towards our leg or our mat, or sinking deeper into our bolster or pillow, perhaps. We're going to take one last deep inhale here. Exhale, we're just going to slowly start to walk ourselves back up to sitting. We can kind of push our props aside. We can go ahead and bring both of our legs in front of us and just kind of shake them out a bit before we move on to the next side. So go ahead, just shake out the legs, moving the knees up and down. If we want to kind of scoot forward and bring our feet to the floor, we can do a couple windshield wipers just to kind of stretch out our back before we move on. And do as many as you like, just kind of windshielding back and forth, listening to our bodies and what we need tonight. When we're ready, we'll get back on our mat. This time we're going to stretch our left leg out diagonally. And so we may want to adjust our props if we're using them over to the left-hand side. Our right foot, we're going to bring our right foot to the inner left thigh. So again, we're making a little L shape with our legs. Checking in with our bodies, making sure our sit bones are situated on our mats. We're sitting up nice and straight and tall, taking those shoulders up to our ears, rolling them down our spine so that our spines are nice and straight and tall. Our chests are open. We're going to inhale and sweep our arms above, really reaching for the ceiling. Nice deep inhale here. And we're going to turn, and exhaling, we're going to fold over our left leg. So again, we can bring our hands to shins. We can bring our hands to ankles. We can bring our hands to toes. Maybe take our 2 fingers around big toe. Or we can get our prop situated and we can fold over our prop. Maybe even placing one side or another of our face on our blanket or bolster or pillow. So wherever you're at, make sure you're comfortable. Make sure there's nothing pinching, pulling, or hurting. And if there is, we need to just take a step back and adjust. And wherever we're at, we'll stay for a few moments. So make sure you're comfortable. We're going to take one nice deep inhale here. Exhaling, we're going to slowly walk ourselves back up to center. And for our next pose, before we move into the next section of the practice, is going to be legs up the wall. So you'll have to find a wall. I'm looking around and not seeing many empty ones at my house, but I'm going to turn this so hopefully you can see me towards this wall over here. And I'm gonna squeeze in. So, legs up the wall. Once you've found your spot on the wall, what you're gonna wanna do is get your bottom as close to the wall as you can so that you're kind of sitting sideways. And then you're just gonna slowly and carefully lean yourself back while we're turning our legs and getting those legs up the wall. I don't know if you can see me. Yeah, I guess you can see me properly. So our bottoms are pretty much touching the wall. Our legs are straight up. If this is too much for our legs, we can always bend them if that's easier, or if that's putting less strain on the back of our legs. If this is hard on our backs, we can take a blanket or a small pillow and place that kind of under, I guess that would be our under our tailbone area. Some people have are kind of bony in that area, so if we need to do that, that's perfectly fine. If you want to grab a pillow, and make yourself comfortable getting a pillow under your head. If you want to grab a blanket and lay a blanket across you. If you want to turn down the lights and chill out for a few moments and legs up the wall. We're going to stay here for a few moments and then we'll get transitioned into our next practice.
Thank you so much for that. We're going to continue legs up the wall. Maybe we place our hand on our chest and one on our stomach. We're going to take a few deep breaths here, naturally. So in through the nose and by out the mouth. And we're going to take that for a couple rounds. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and take your left foot And we're just gonna inch both of our left and right feet down the wall, making our way into frog, both of our legs level with each other. And if it is a little too hard for you, you're always allowed to scoot back from the wall, because I know a lot of us are very close to the wall right now. But if you do want to intensify this pose, you can always stay a little bit closer to the wall as well. And I do recommend, now that we're making our way into restorative poses, that we keep our eyes shut. And while we're in this pose, why don't we notice what comes up? Noticing our inhalations and our exhalations. Making ourselves a little bit more relaxed. I know a lot of us may be a little stressed due to the pandemic going on right now. But why don't we take a second to notice gratitude and what we're thankful for? And it may not come to you right away. But really think on that. It could be the simplest thing. Keep noticing your breath here. And why don't we take a big inhale through the nose, hold at the top for 2, and then exhale, let it sigh out the mouth. And go ahead and do that again. Inhale through the nose, hold at the top for 2, and sigh out the mouth again. And for the next round, we're gonna do that the same way, but why don't we get rid of any negative energy that we can as we're sighing it out the mouth. So inhale, hold, and exhale. Just let it all out, sinking a little bit deeper and deeper into your mat. Go ahead and place your hands out to the sides, making your way into the T-shaped position. We're gonna gently place our feet to touch, and whatever way your legs decide to fall, left or right, don't think about it. Just go ahead and let them drop to whatever side. For a spinal twist, and gaze in the opposite direction of where your knees are, and relax the shoulders here. Again, think about what you're grateful for, because you can find gratitude in every situation. Really opening the heart chakra here. Again, noticing the breath and sinking deeper and deeper onto our mats here tonight. We only have a few moments left here before we go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and bring your knees to center. Maybe you give them a squeeze for a second, and then go ahead and drop them over to the other side, head facing the opposite directions, arms still to a T. Beautiful job, guys. And take a deep breath in, sigh out the mouth, and feel your shoulders dig a little bit deeper into your mat. Really relaxing and surrendering here in this pose. Now think about what I said in the beginning of this class, what you're grateful for. And now maybe think about yourself and be grateful for yourself, that we're here and that we're able to practice and pass on that gratitude through these hard times. Maybe you give yourself an affirmation out of gratitude. Maybe something like, I love myself. Or, I am okay. I am beautiful. Just be grateful for yourself. And surrender and find that light. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and make your feet kiss. So feet together. Bring your feet to kiss. Arms are still to a T. And we're going to stay here for a few moments in recline butterfly. Unclenching the jaw and softening your shoulders here. Feel the energy in your hands, the sensation in your hands. The power. There's normal to feel sensations within the hips during these poses because they're hip openers. But instead of giving in and tapping out, why don't you just try to imagine breathing into those certain areas? If you want to intensify this pose, maybe you inch your feet up a little bit more, or if this pose might be a little too hard, maybe you inch your feet a little bit lower. This is your practice. Now notice in the middle of your forehead, which is known as the third eye chakra, still in the same pose that we've been in, I want you to imagine a white light. Let it in. Let it slowly go through your arms, going down through the stomach area, through the chest, getting rid of all the worries that we have, all the doubt and the fear. Now let it run through your legs, through your knees, the shins, and all of the worries out through your feet, releasing it. Take a deep breath in through the mouth. Hold it and sigh out the mouth, making that ocean-like noise through your mouth. We're going to do that 2 more times. In through the mouth. Hold. Out through the mouth. And one last final time. Inhale through the mouth. Hold at the top. Exhale through the mouth. And now during this time, I do challenge you to be creative and make your way into any pose that you may feel that you need to get into before we make our way into Savasana. So you could stay in reclining butterfly. You could make your way into child's pose. You can do whatever you want, but it's about making sure that you feel fulfilled for the rest of this class before we make our way into the rest of Sacred Sound tonight. Maybe you try to challenge yourself tonight, or maybe you just stay in a resting pose to prepare yourself for the beautiful music that you're about to hear by Kimberly. Again, take a deep inhale. Exhale out the mouth. I noticed a couple people just tapped in. We're actually in whatever pose that you want to be in right now. Before we make our way into sacred sound. Actually, Savasana, then sacred sound. Again, with whatever pose that you chose tonight, just fully surrender here in this pose. And relaxing and dissolving anything that is not serving you. And bringing in and making space for what is needed and what is deserved. And whenever you're ready, no rush. Make your way into Savasana, dead man's pose, all the way in your back. I thank all of you for coming to this class tonight. It's very amazing to see all the support and love that we have through Lotus. And remember to always be grateful for yourself and find the light in every single situation that you can. I'm going to go ahead and pass this over to Kim for the sacred sound healing.
Okay, so I'm going to have you stay in Savasana just for a few more moments here, dropping a little bit more into the body, allowing the earth to support you, letting your feet be heavy, your knees be heavy, your hips heavy, your torso heavy, your shoulders heavy, your elbows heavy, your hands heavy, your head heavy, dropping and sinking a little bit more into the earth, allowing it to support you, to nourish you, to allow your body to give over, to surrender. Is almost like being able to let go of everything that is in our current world, everything that you are experiencing is not in this place. You are in a bubble. Your body is heavy. It is being supported by the earth. You have no cares. You just are. You are in a state of being. There is no wrong. There is no right. You are. And I'm going to ask that you repeat to yourself, I am. You can say it out loud or you can say it in your mind, but declare to yourself, I am.
I am.
I am. I am. Allowing your body to feel that heaviness. It's like being in a cocoon. It's like being in that bubble, being supported. You're in a place of peace, of unconditional love, surrendering over your thoughts and your feelings and letting go of what's currently going on in your world, in the greater world. And just for a few moments, allowing yourself to just be. And now you're going to start to feel lightness coming into your feet. Your feet are light. It can be a feeling of lightness or it can be a sensation of actual light. Your knees are light. Your hips are light. Your torso is light. Your shoulders are light. Your elbows are light. Your hands are light. Your head is light. Your whole body is vibrating with ease and joy and love and light. And you are in that state of being, the perfect unconditional love of who you are. And in your mind or out loud, state and declare, I am. I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
And take a deep breath in. Exhaling out slowly and completely. And we're going to move into the sacred sound portion of this evening. And so you can stay in Shavasana or you can sit up in meditation, whichever you choose. You can play this back at another time with different speakers if you don't have it available to you right now. But I want you to be as comfortable as you can, allowing these vibrations of these instruments to move through you. And I want you to be able to let go and to just drift. Okay, and I'm going to call you back at the end of the session by using these chimes. Okay, so allow yourself to let go, to be in that state of being, to repeat that mantra, I am, if you choose, or just to move into space. We're going to begin with the sacred sound, with the shamanic drum. And this is going to just start to shake up some of those stagnant energies that we've been holding on to for a really long time. So as you hear the shamanic drum, envision that it's moving through. You're going to feel the vibrations coming through, but also envision that it's moving through and shaking up anything that's really stagnant or stuck in order for it to be able to move out with the rest of the instruments that we have for today. So let's go ahead and begin. So now bringing your awareness back to your breath. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhaling and letting that go either out the nose or out of the mouth. And take another breath in, just awareness with the breath. Filling up the lungs and then moving out the body through the nose or the mouth. And last time together, we're going to take another deep breath in. Exhaling out slowly, releasing that breath. Let's start making small motions by wiggling your fingers and your toes. Bringing some motion back to the body. We're going to start rotating our wrists and our ankles. And on an in-breath, go ahead and lift your arms up above your head for a full body stretch. That breath is going to come in from the tips of your fingers down to the tips of your toes. And once you fill up as much as you can, as you exhale, you're going to roll to the right side. We're going to pause in the sideline position today, just for a moment, allowing ourselves to integrate our practice. Whatever shifts or changes have taken place, we're going to allow that to integrate a little bit deeper so that it can become permanent and part of our being, allowing us to take this experience off of our mat and into our journeys. So take a deep breath in. As you exhale, go ahead and press yourself up, and we're going to come into easy seat at the top of the mat. Again, setting those sit bones down, connecting with the earth. Nice tall spine. Our head and our crown is reaching up towards that sun. Bringing our hands to heart center here, we're going to keep our pinkies and our thumbs together, but we're opening up our fingers to create a lotus flower. And that lotus flower hand mudra is here. And what we're going to do is we're going to come down and we're going to scoop up the lower energies and we're going to bring it to our heart. And then we're going to lift up to the higher energies and we're going to bring them down to our heart. So the heart is the bridge between the earth energies, scoop them up and bring them to the heart, and the higher energies of our spiritual awakening and world and bringing that down into our heart. One more time, we're going to move down into those earth energies and bring them to our heart center. Those are our survival, feeling safe, knowing that we have a place in this world, understanding that we are here for a reason, bringing those earth energies right into our heart, and then lifting our lotus flowers up to the sky, grabbing those heavenly energies and bringing them down to our heart, our spirituality, our love, our communication, our relationships, all of the higher chakra energies, and bringing them to that bridge, bridging them in our heart, unconditional love space. And then bringing our hands back to prayer, to heart center here, finding that space of gratitude. And take a deep breath in, exhaling out. And I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us in this practice today. Thank you for showing up on the mat, but thank you for contributing and supporting this community. And I would like to send a deep thank you to Taylor, to Kahlia, and to Reganne for sharing their practice with us today, for being here to show us and to guide us to share their light And I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being our teachers. Namaste. Thank you so much, guys. And this is going to be available on YouTube. Hopefully, I'm going to make sure that we can upload it and that you can go ahead and do this practice again at any time that you would like and experience it and move through it. And we wish you the best. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Namaste.